What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Sean here. Now my battery is at like 13%, so I'm going to be racing against the clock to get this video into you. We're continuing to roll through a bunch of cannabis companies here, and today I'm going to cover Green Thumb. So I'm going to do a company overview, financial highlights, we'll talk about some quarterly news, talk about that PS ratio, and then talk a little bit about whether this company would be a buy for me or not. And of course we're building up to our big comparison video at the end, so without further ado guys, let's just jump into Green Thumb. By the way friends, if you're new here, my name is Sean. I do investing videos and personal finance videos, so if you're interested in that kind of thing, please hit the subscribe button to get more videos just like this one. Alright, so company overview on Green Thumb. The CEO is Ben Kovler. He is also the founder of this company, and he started this company in 2014. Now this company is similar to some of the others we've covered, maybe most similar to Trulieve in the sense that it does everything from grow this cannabis to manufacture and package it, and then sells it under different brands, different brand names, and different products in different forms. So because we talked about in the last video how the states marijuana is governed on a state-by-state basis, these companies have to be careful in where they cultivate and grow, and typically they would want to grow and also sell the cannabis in the same area. So that is exactly how Green Thumb operates. It's very similar to Trulieve. So they do own and operate several stores. We'll get into that in a little bit, and there are about 13 manufacturing facilities across the US. And it's worth noting too that this is similar to Trulieve in the sense that Green Thumb is focused on the States right now, and there's no expansions to Europe, nothing like that. It's very, very USA based. Now, if you go into the website, you can tell they have a very different feel from a company like Tilray. This again is a little more family oriented, a little maybe more geared towards younger people, similar to Curaleaf. It's actually more of a younger crowd. I would even be like, I kind of feel this would kind of be an attractive place to work. It's very heavy on the sort of like the green, natural sort of side of cannabis. So that's really what they're sort of pushing, that type of lifestyle. Now there are 6 brands under Green Thumb, and they are Beboe, which is like their premium brand, Dog Walkers, which is the pre-rolls, Dr. Solomon's, Incredibles are like edibles, Rhythm, and the Feel collection. So they sell all their products under these different brands, and they all kind of have a different sort of brand feel to each one of them. Now on top of that, there are 97 retail stores that are run by Green Thumb, and there are different chains, so they go under different names, and those are RISE, Essence, 3C, Bluepoint, and FP Wellness. Each one of these stores has again a different sort of decor, different feel. This is where it's a little bit different than Curaleaf, because Curaleaf is very much kind of has a similar feel in all their stores. It's one big chain, and so Green Thumb is a little bit different in that it has these multiple chains. It's a result of the way that they expand, which is they continue to kind of, as the legalization changes in different states, they tend to acquire businesses that are already in those states and expand in that way. This is kind of the, we'll call it, strategy for now, and should the USA go to legalize marijuana like on a federal level, then these types of businesses that are already spread across the country will be poised to really take advantage of that and be ready to expand even further. So first I'm going to jump into talking about some of the financial highlights, and to start I'm going to use a slide from the investor presentation from the last quarter. So we can see here revenues increasing 9.7% and 89.5% year over year to 194 million. That's great. Third consecutive quarter of positive net income. We'll talk about that because that is an indication of profitability. And adjusted operating EBITDA grew 9% sequentially and 179% year over year, so that's also excellent. It's the 5th consecutive quarter of positive cash flow, delivering almost 40 million. In February in 2021, the company also raised $156 million through direct public sales of approximately 4.7 million shares in the company's US initial public offering of securities. And I just want to put up a couple other charts here, because you can see from those comments now that revenue and EBITDA have been increasing. That is a positive sign. We can see from these earnings charts off Yahoo that lo and behold, we have eked into positive territory for earnings as well. And so that combined with that comment about net income being positive, positive and cash flow being positive, this company is like eking into that profitability zone now in a consistent way for the last few quarters, which is really good news and really makes Green Thumb stand out. Now for quarterly news, I'm going to jump back into that slide and just go over those last two bullets. Now on April 30th, subsequent to the quarter end, Green Thumb raised $216 million in senior secured debt. So they have secured debt at 7% and they're planning to use that to pay off previous debt, a lower number, but that was at 12%. And they want to use this for general working capital and supporting various growth initiatives, which might mean, you know, further expansion. And speaking of, on May 3rd, subsequent to the quarter end, the company announced the signing of the agreement for its strategic expansion into Virginia and acquisition of Dharma Pharmaceuticals. So that gives itself a license in Virginia, and it gives its new opportunities to have 5 additional retail locations in that state. So it's expanding into that area of the states as well, and this is something we see every couple of quarters from Green Thumb. They seem to acquire another company in order to grow their business. That's kind of how they've been expanding. And so one of the concerns is whether this company would be spreading itself too thin or expanding too quickly. But like I said, all of the previous figures with its revenues and EBITDA going up and its net income being positive says that it's actually pretty healthy. Looks like management is quite disciplined, and so this expansion should be exciting and an opportunity to have even more revenue next year. So this is actually pretty good. This gets me pretty excited about the company, but let's just jump into just talking about the price to sales ratio. Price to sales ratio for Green Thumb is 11, and based on the previous companies that we've discussed, this is actually a little bit on the low side when you compare it. It's a little bit lower than Tilray, lower than Canopy Growth. It's right in there with Trulieve, which again we said was, well, I was concluding was quite an attractive stock in itself. So price to sales ratio pretty strong in comparison to its peers. Now I will check on other stats and other ratios when I do my comparison video. By the way, if you guys have suggestions for other companies, I'm thinking of doing Canopy Growth and then maybe doing a comparison and having you guys vote. But if there are other companies that you think I should, there are smaller cap companies that you think I should review, please let me know in the comments. So would I consider Green Thumb a buy with just 2% left of my battery? Well, overall, again, a very strong contender here. It reminds me a lot of Trulieve, which is kind of becoming one of my favorites. It's similar that it's got a healthy balance sheet. It's got positive EBITDA, positive revenue, positive earnings. These are all really good, and you can't say the same for all the other cannabis companies. So there's a lot to like here. Its execution strategy, similar to Trulieve in the fact that it's focused on the States right now and it's going to worry about the rest of the world later. I think that's a wise thing to do right now when there's so much uncertainty around the sector. And so I'm going to put this in a group of companies, you know, like I said, of the ones that I like, I think. I personally just want to get through the rest of these companies before I select one stock to buy, but this is definitely a contender. I think right now, if I had the money to invest in all of them, I would probably be picking up some stocks in Green Thumb as well as a couple of the others that we've already covered. So, okay. I am going to run out of breath because my battery is down to the last percentage. Anyway, before time runs out, I hope you guys have found this video useful. Let me know what you think of Green Thumb in the comments below. If you have any other cannabis companies to cover, please let me know in the comments as well. Until next week, have a great week. Spread the wealth, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye now. Now there are 6 brands. Now let's jump back into the slide for a couple more of. Now I'll just jump back onto that slide on April 30th. So this is, but hopefully you guys have found this video useful.